Nobody. I don't think maybe a week goes by, maybe 2 weeks goes by that I don't think about Mac Miller, and it makes me sad. But anyway, on to something happy. It's still fucking basketball season. We had some really good matchups this week, really tight matchups. Some people might be upset at the outcomes of those matchups. Some people might be happy, and let's get into it. It was close. It was closer than the score says, 9-1. But I beat John 9-1. Only undefeated team still left. Boom. What's up? Jackson, huge win. Jackson, best free throw percentage, most points scored, most assists, most steals in the league this week. Crushed it. Tim's team just continues to not play. Loses to Chris 8-2. Drew taking down Sawdog in really a not that close of a matchup. And Alec beats Tom 6-5 off a monster Luka triple-double, I think, on Saturday. Misses one game, comes back after the birth of his daughter, just puts up a big number. So me and John, I had the most rebounds in the league this week with 277, most double-doubles with 12, most triple-doubles with 2. This one was back and forth all week. John and I are separated by 8 threes, 23 points. Rebounds were close all week. Assists, 11, super close all week. Steals were close, tied in blocks, separated by 6 turnovers, 2 double-doubles. My team just was able to pull away, even without having Jokic on whatever, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, he sat in one Jamal Murray game, and then he got hurt. Still, injuries abroad for both of us. I don't think Markkanen played a game this week, and someone else somewhat significant was hurt for John. Just didn't work out too well for him and I injury-wise. Not our full strength, but we're going to take it. Jokic MVP, we'll look at the stats later. Mike and Jackson. Mike's team, not doing much. Mike, hit that waiver wire, dog, if you're even watching these videos. Jackson's team looking strong. Kawhi balled out. Not much in his stat line besides these 3 things, but 545 from the field, 108 points scored, 32 rebounds. Really, Jackson's team looking good. I believe 2-game win streak out of the dumpster into 6th place right now. Tied with Drew and Chris with a record of 2-4, but Jackson's team certainly on the rise. Jackson would have been 7-1-1 this week. Only would have lost to myself and would have tied Alec. So, praise to you, sir. Mike drops down to last place. 1-8, only would have beaten Tim this week. 2-game lose streak for Mike. Chris and Tim. Again, I don't know what's up with Tim's team. No one's hurt, but a lot of his team is just like 4th guys on the roster. There's definitely some guys you could be streaming or dropping Tim. Again, like 500 total points. That's pretty bad. Even if no one else in the league streamed, we would still be pushing like 650 points plus. He's got Ant on his team. He's got Dame. But the rest of the guys are just like not premier, or I know you can't have that many premier players on your team, but like not really a ton of shooters on that team. 45 total threes made. Tim's setting his lineup again. Not a lot of injuries, but just not doing much. Chris team looked decent. I think, let's see, Tim would have been 1-8, only would have beat Sawyer. Chris would have been 4-3-2, only losing to myself. Alec and Jackson would have tied John and Drew. Chris, most steals in the league, or most blocks in the league this week, 58. That's a huge number. That's 18 more than the next closest team. Bravo, sir. MVP for Chris is going to be Şengün. What Şengün to what Goblin. 74 points, 29 rebounds, 15 assists, and a double-double. Sawyer and Drew. This one was tight all week as well. I know I said it wasn't that close, but so the percentages aren't close. Sawyer and Drew split them. Drew wins by 24 threes, 21 points, has 20-some-odd more assists. Steals were within 3. Blocks weren't close. Turnovers semi-close. But Drew with 10 double-doubles to Sawyer's 8. Looking good for Mr. Drew. Mr. Ice Tray, the former captain of Sawyer's team, doing it to him. 9 threes made, 90 points scored, 36 assists, 3 double-doubles. Drew's team also looking like they're on the come up right now. 5-3-1. Only would have lost to myself, Alec, and Jackson. Tied with Chris. Meanwhile, Sawyer 1-8. Only would have beaten Mike. So 1-game losing streak for Sawyer. Still in 5th place. Record of 2-3-1. Nothing to complain about. But basically, him, Jackson, Drew, and Chris are all pretty much tied. So that lower part of the playoff bracket. I know it's early in the year, way early in the year, but it is close. Finally, on to Tom and Alec. A hotly contested battle. They both split the percentage. Or no. Tom takes both percentages. Alec wins by 23s. Points not that close. Rebounds not that close. Assists not that close. It's funny. So Alec takes threes, points, rebounds, assists. Tom takes percentages, steals, blocks, turnovers. But Alec with 10 double-doubles to 6 and getting the Luka triple-double at the last day. Put it over the top. MVP for Alec's going to be Julius Randle. He's also, I think, the player of the week in the NBA. Eastern Conference, 549 from the field, 74 points, 40 rebounds, 22 assists, 3 double-doubles. Alec would have been 8-0-1. Only would have tied Jackson, 3-game win streak for Alec, all alone in second place with a record of 5-1-0. Meanwhile, Tom would have been 4-5, only would have beaten John, Tim, Sawyer, and Mike this week. 1-game loss for Tom, 3-3-0, all by himself in 4th. Side note, I think, been talking with some of the league mates, and mainly just me and Tom, and I don't remember if John and I have had this conversation, and I think people have brought it up in the past, but I definitely think it's time to retire the triple-double category after this year. There's only so many people in the league that consistently get them, so it is a hugely unfair advantage. And speaking as the person who has the player who has the most, I don't really think that's fair, so obviously can't change that mid-season, but we'll look to make a change going for that next season, make it a little more fair for the competitive landscape. Yahoo's number 1 player of the week averages Jokic, averaged 29.7 points, 9.3 rebounds, 15.0 assists, 1.3 steals, 1.0 blocks. I'm going to give it up to AD too as well. 25.8 points scored, 13.8 rebounds, 2.3 blocks, 1.0 double-doubles. Knocking, but he has been highly durable so far this year and looked really good for John's team. Matchups coming up. We got some good ones. John versus Drew should be pretty solid. Alec and Jackson, that's probably the one I'm looking forward to most. Mike and Sawyer, Tom versus Chris, and then me versus Tim. Please remember, this is a short week. Tonight's games and tomorrow night's in-season tournament games do not count towards our regular season matchups. There will be no games shown on fantasy. It is going to be a very short week, so please be ready to hit the ground running come Wednesday. That's all, boys. Good night.